Buenos dias, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda, Heroes Reich, Defender of the Fatherland, here to deliver onto your ears and eyes more lovely company of heroes footage with a lovely propaganda commentary. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, and it shall be an exciting fight, at least I hope you're full fighting fan. Of course, it's also going to be a Monday Novice fight, so of course you people who are a bit sensitive to that might want to turn away now, close your ears, hold your hands in front of your eyes and think of something else. But we are going to be seeing two fighting right here. We're going to see an American commander, D.T. Winters. Yes, indeed, D.T. Winters fighting for the Americans. Fighting for the 4th Infantry Division, going up against Mr. HybridFunctionz, who I believe we've already seen once. Fighting for the Wehrmacht. Fighting for the 91st Luftlande Division. In fact, yes indeed, let's go right down to it though. Let's be seeing how these two chaps shall be doing, what they will be doing in fact, and sort of try to analyze why and how and when. Oh, the when won't be necessary, but we are seeing a barracks going up, so again, this sort of usual start. I mean, nothing really to highly analyze, except of course perhaps, you know, the placement. I mean, for example here, this is a nice placement, you know, right at the edge of the base, and I mean, certainly if he's focusing on this part of the map, you know, right here is nice, and of course, same sort of applies here, although he could be placing it a bit here, or here, you know, closer to sort of the edges of the base, so the troops, when they are out, can actually get out faster. Bits like that do matter. No pioneers working on, only one team of pioneers working on the Wehrmacht quarters, same with the Americans, only one engineer team, the other one heads off to the munitions. Pioneers heads over to the munitions. Fascinating. Rifleman on the way, no jeeps. He might, you know, again, that's sort of the usual thing. Some Americans do like to go for a jeep to sort of do some early harassment, run down some pioneers, ruin their day, and perhaps even shoot a few down. I mean, that's what you might do with an early jeep, although of course you have to be a bit careful and not get it lost. So slight little detail there, slight suggestion. No wiring off attempt right here to perhaps, you know, protect this point, since this is only one of the more harassed points, certainly in any map. We are seeing some false Grenadiers coming out, marching out for the glory of the fatherland, rifles in hands. Not going to be stopped by any silly armies. We are seeing a rifleman team arriving, and it is indeed heading towards the west, but slight detail right here. He isn't quite managing to get connected. He hasn't connected the fuel or munitions point. That's a slight mistake right there, I'd argue. In particular, since he did go straight for this munitions point, but he hasn't really ensured that he can actually be connected. So I mean, try to sort of keep awareness of that. And now, of course, riflemen fighting against Volksgrenadiers in heavy cover, while they themselves are in light cover. Although, again, mind you, cover is directional. And of course, if your troops are, for example, standing right here, they might not quite be as protected as the chaps behind this clump of hay. I'm not entirely sure how they wager this should be heavy cover. But then again, it could be there's something hidden it, like, you know, concrete blocks. I don't know. But now engineers standing about there trying to connect. Not entirely sure why he's not trying to go for the safer fuel point, which is not in the arc of fire of the false Grenadiers. It looks like one went down. It was not actually the squad either this time, though he does tend to have a nasty habit of going down as the first one. And oh my goodness, he actually managed to secure it without losing the engineers. False Grenadiers laying down barbed wire. More false Grenadiers arriving for HybridFunctionz. The 91st fights onwards, and false Grenadiers sneaking forward there. Getting caught out by the riflemen. Will the fight continue? No, they will actually be pulling back across the road. So far so good. Pioneers here. The other pioneers are standing about here, not entirely sure what they might do. I mean, a suggestion could be to actually wire off this area, so the opponent can actually sort of sneak about here, and of course, wire off here, perhaps a bit, you know. Also a nice and decent possibility, and here's an odd little thing he's doing, or perhaps even interesting, you know. He's actually connecting the two pieces of cover with sandbags, so, you know, troops can actually stand here without, you know, having to be worried about being exposed in most cases. So that's a neat little trick. Certainly figure that might be of some interest. And we are seeing a third false Grenadier team out now. False Grenadiers, the other two are on the way now. Perhaps a bit to the north. Looks like the Americans might be trying a flanking attempt, but so far these false Grenadiers are doing their best to keep them back, while the riflemen are doing their best to keep moving up. So far the riflemen do have the advantage of the heavy cover against the false Grenadiers in their only light cover. Engineers could be moving in to flank, and looks like, yes indeed, false Grenadiers moving in, flanking some riflemen who are moving up. This could be a bit of a problem. Riflemen getting fired from all sides. And why is he not joining up in the fight? I have no idea. Riflemen are in fact charging at the Volksgrenadiers. The Volksgrenadiers, other troops who might be arriving to aid, are apparently a bit more occupied with killing some engineers while their friends are dying in a horrible manner. More Volksgrenadiers moving in. But again, he's going to need those other Volksgrenadiers if he wants to actually survive this bit. Although some riflemen are quickly forced away. More riflemen are on the way for DT Winters. Riflemen actually running into a bit of problem with these chaps behind the cover so far, already scoring 3 kills. This is not looking good, and in fact I'd recommend DT Winters a complete retreat now. There's in fact a bit of harassment right there. DT Winters so far early grasp, not really too strong. Not quite choosing his fights as well as possible. Oh my goodness, hitting a mine on the retreat. Nicely placed right there by HybridFunctionz, and one there. He's only going to be needing to quickly churn his tides, otherwise he's going to be facing a few problems in the long run. Will at least be my suspicion. But so far we are in fact seeing several Volksgrenadier teams for HybridFunctionz, but we're not really seeing anything else. And now looks like he's actually trying to sort of cordon off this area with barbed wire and now tank traps. Interesting.
Supply lines are broken. We have territory out of supply.
He's certainly done a nice bit of harassment. Then we are seeing a medic station going up. Not the safest place, you know, not having really done any reconnaissance. And of course the Volksgrenadiers are firing away. Might want to cancel that. Cancel before the Volksgrenadiers wreck it. Engineer team lost. Medic station was cancelled, but that was not really a good fight. Again, you know, be cautious about where you build your things. In front of the enemy tends to be one of the less good spaces and spots and all that. In fact, DT Winters has lost all engineers at this stage. That's not quite what you want. I mean, he's not really doing anything else. I mean, he's now getting out of some engineers. Not entirely sure where most of his manpower's gone. Apparently reinforcing. Riflemen charging up here, but on their own. It's not a coordinated assault. In fact, he's sending them in piecemeal again. That's what you want to be careful about. Volksgrenadiers now moving in from the flank to aid those right here in the middle. Will he be focusing down the more wounded ones? Looks like it. There we go. One Volksgrenadier team down. More are moving in though. Volksgrenadier getting shot up in the middle. Continue moving them about. Right in front, the rifleman another team runs away. Rifleman moving in. This could be where DT Winters equalizes things, though. He needs to get these men out of there. Retreat, get them. Yes, there we go. But quite a bit of infantry fighting right here early on. Only infantry and some pioneers and engineers. No MG42 snipers, bikes, or jeeps, or shrimp wagons. And there we go. Full retreat from HybridFunctionz in the center. DT Winters has won the fight. He now needs to quickly be able to capitalize on it, take as much territory as possible, secure as much as possible, and he is going for the BAR, certainly most recommendable when your opponent has gone for such a heavy Volksgrenadier strat, or Volksgrenadier heavy strat. GG, then it's not exactly a bad idea to get the BAR, so that means you can really muster a lot of firepower against the Volksgrenadier. We're also seeing a Kriegberg's up, and he's probably might be expecting, you know, an M8, although he's certainly been able to keep him bleeding, so of course, perhaps not, but he might be getting a Pack 38. He might be getting some Grenadiers or a half-track. We'll of course have to see what the 91st will do. But we do have the BR, so that's only also going to be helping against any Volksgrenadier counter-attacks, and of course, the BR will really be able to get some fire out and down on them. More riflemen reinforcing. And finally getting some engineers, and there we go. The Volksgrenadiers are charging ahead, some actually being equipped with MP40s galore. 10 MP40s in fact, Maschinenpistole 40. That's going to be quite a bit of automatic fire, although again they need to get close. I'm not entirely sure why he's so keen on taking points, but again he's got a huge force of Volksgrenadiers. In fact, there's a bit of a Volksgrenadier blob charging in. I mean, in those cases you actually try to fight it, not take points. And in fact, he could be using the BAR suppressive fire against them instead. Oh dear, that was close to almost losing a rifleman team. He did leave behind a BAR, but again, priorities. And again, I mean, if you have the BARs, if you're facing a Volksgrenadier blob, you know, use suppressive fire from the BARs in particular, and you also have all that munitions. And why on earth is he not laying down mines or anything? Again, he has the munitions. He has got tons of munitions, but he's not using it. He's not achieving anything with it. An absolute waste, an absolute tragedy. We are seeing medics taking gun. We have some riflemen sneaking about here in the west, but the Volksgrenadiers with the MP40s rushing in. Again, lots of automatic firepower, although not really common, in fact, for Germans to be so heavily equipped with submachine guns. That was more of a Soviet thing, although later stages of the war, when the actual Volksgrenadiers were about, they were to be equipped with automatic weapons, although that was actually supposed to be the assault rifles, not the MP40s, but they couldn't always get those, so they got the MP40 instead. Volksgrenadiers with BAR fighting with and veterancy 1, already getting veterancy, that's good. Following up on things there. Facing off against riflemen with no veterancy in light cover. That's not entirely going to be good for the riflemen, I think. In particular, since the riflemen aren't really in a good condition either. He needs to get them out of there. And Wehrmacht is securing as much as possible as they can, as swiftly as possible. Triers are now getting up, but he needs to get those riflemen moving. And he needs to be a bit better, actually handling situations, not trying to take points while the enemy's charging in like a maniac. I mean, again, had you actually tried to sort of get some good suppressor fire and all that charging Volksgrenadier blob, he might actually have been able to beat it quite swiftly. But it looks like a half-track has arrived to assist the 91st, probably on land from the 2nd Panzer Division, which could be providing more assistance in the longer run. But flamethrowers being equipped, Trier sender up. Looks like the American commander is on the move. Volksgrenadier standing about, looking all dashing with all their MP40s. Bit of quiet actually. Let's just casually speed this up. Medic station getting into trouble. Medics getting gunned down. Well, there we go. American counter-attack. We've seen a bit of barbed wire to actually pretend sort of assault. Don't run into the sort of shorter range of the MP40s. Grenades actually getting lobbed. Oh my goodness, that's great. A nice upgrade there, but the half-track does arrive, making a bit of a mess of things, in particular since he doesn't actually have any weapons to really deal with it, except the BAR, which can do some damage, or at least the rifles can, against the half-track, the Schützen Panzerwagen. More Volksgrenadiers moving in. And of course, again, taking up in this nice position which has been established. Riflemen are being forced away, medics pulling in the wounded, others moving through here in the flank. And we are seeing Stormtroopers, Stoßtruppen as Panzer Grenadiers of the 2nd Panzer Division with a Panzer Schreck, who are getting grenaded themselves. Oh dear, one man down, and a swift retreat from the Americans, having done some damage.
Our forces are taking casualties.
And the engineers got lost on a mine. That was a bit tragic.
Composition B is in.
Sticky bombs have been prepared, although it might have been a idea to actually just get some airborne in, get them some recoilers rather than then just deal with the half-track that way. Although the half-track is going to need some repairs as soon as possible. Pack 38 waiting right there in reserve position. Volksgrenadiers still rushing back and forth.
Losing ground out there.
And HybridFunctionz only pioneers in effect repairing their half-track. At this moment, of course, Blitzkrieg has been chosen as his doctrine, and we are seeing airborne, so it's going to be an airborne versus Blitzkrieg fight. We'll of course have to see how the airborne will pull this off. And if they will be able to pull it off. Rifle moving in here. Volksgrenadiers behind cover. Could we be seeing another grenade again? He does have the munitions, so there we go. Volksgrenadiers behind cover. Getting grenaded. Oh, HybridFunctionz actually managed to get out of there this time. Half-track suppressing the riflemen. More riflemen advancing up. Half-track and Stormtroopers holding the line courageously. This riflemen do advance with all the automatics. MP40 Volksgrenadiers are charging in now. And again, will we be seeing BAR automatic fire, or perhaps a grenade right in the path? I mean, that could work. Come on, grenade or suppressive fire, please. No, he's just firing away. Volksgrenadiers just gunning down like mad, and in some cases getting gunned down. There we go, grenade, but it's too late, too far. More grenades, but again, it doesn't just manage to miss. Although it looks like the Volksgrenadiers did, anyways, take a bit too heavy losses, but I think it could have been handled a bit better by Mr. DT Winters again. A bit of suppressive fire could probably much more easily have stopped them, or at least made it easier to lob up a grenade. But 5 infantry units, 4 HybridFunctionz, a pack, a half-tank, and some pioneers. Certainly not looking all bad. He might consider getting some more veterancy for his units, Either veterancy 2 for the infantry would certainly help them a bit, even the Volksgrenadiers, or perhaps, get veterancy 1 for the half-tank, which would really help it in terms of the damage it actually takes. But moving in to harass a bit there, that's a good move. Flanking in, airborne in support, but so far no recall rifles. That needs to be rectified, I think, as soon as possible. Grenadiers moving in, stormtroopers getting assault rifles, could be following up soon. And there we go. Grenadiers moving in from the rear, ready to attack and surround the rifle in effect and the airborne, of course. Not to forget the airborne in a slightly tricky position. And there we go, Grenadiers charging in like madmen with a purpose. Recall rifles are prepared, and a grenade. Oh my goodness! Stu 42 and grenade clears out an entire rifleman team, and only one airborne fellow makes it out of there alive. Oh my goodness! It's just a huge pile of bodies. Some alive, still writhing, others not quite so alive. Oh my goodness! And the medics are quickly moving in, but there are no German medics. I mean, that's actually a bit odd, considering all the infantry it has. HybridFunctionz has not built a medic bunker. I'm a bit surprised at that. But still, my goodness, the losses. My goodness. And that was one rifleman team down. He does have medics in, of course. That could, of course, help in the longer run. Though, with all the infantry he has, he might want to consider getting a supply up to actually help with the upkeep cost, which is probably going to be slowly strengthening him at this rate. But a Sturmhaubitze has been pulled in from the 2nd Panzer Division. We, of course, have to see how this works out. The rest of the army refitting and rekitting. Airborne getting reinforced, at least I hope so. Slow advance and cautious advance by DT Winters, who seems to have lost a bit of his nerve after that. With the Stu 42, of course, he does have a bit of a problem. Mines being nailed down. Volkswagen sneaking in on the flanks. Looks like, yes, indeed. Fighting engages once more, leading the way with the MP40. Volkswagen he quite loves those, and loves them so much he runs them into a mine. Verdammt, Heinrich. Anyway, some other Volkswagens in the west. Only 4 men, though, securing the fuel point, or at least trying to render it inoperable to the Americans. Anti-tank gun has been dropped in. It's not quite managing much with that, except actually advertising its precision to the enemy, basically meaning, of course, HybridFunctionz all it just needs to do is move it to the other point. Rather than our charge again. Seems to be a slight bug here when they're actually tightening down the barbed wire. That happens from time to time, no idea why. And the anti-tank gun is not quite pointing in the right direction. Half-track suppressing, Stu 42 blasting, rifleman retreating. No idea why he's pushing in the anti-tank gun. More stormtroopers or Panzer Grenadiers, what you call them, being called in. Half-track sneaking in on the flank. This could be the end, or it could just be getting away. Certainly it looks like it's getting away quite swiftly. Airborne are somewhat ready, and they're getting pushed into the fight. DT Winters has no time to wait. He needs those recallers rather soon. Half-track damaged engine again, and they just fixed it. Simply cruel and crude. And there we go, the half-track goes down. Volkswagen is taking losses. Stormtroopers fighting, getting assault rifles. These chaps, though, could be pulled in to actually support. And trying to salvage the munitions, but got blown up by the anti-tank gun, which is now firing away at the Stu 42. He's trying to. Airborne riflemen moving up. This is quite the assault, quite the push. Trying to stay out of range of the Stu 42, instead going towards the stormtroopers who are a bit on their own, a bit exposed. Behind the shrubbery, anti-tank gun, and there we go. Stormtroopers are pushed back. Americans advancing further and further. Supply drops in the base, yes indeed. And looks like a rifleman team has actually been reformed for DT Winters. Absolutely amazing. Are we seeing any grenades getting lobbed against the Volksgrenadiers? Come on, DT Winters. Grenades, grenades. Yes, there we go. Volksgrenadiers taking heavy losses, but these airborne also need to get out of... Oh my goodness, they managed to blow themselves up with a grenade.
We have gained momentum on the field.
I bet it was Doyle. Conrad, who always has to tie shoelaces, but there we go. He never should have been an airborne. Just like the lieutenant always said. Either way, a bit of harassment here. Rifleman here, not moving. He might want to get extra use of those. Stu 42 being pulled out. Rifleman being pushed in. Other troops reinforcing again and again. And Volkswagen is running into the rifleman now. Fresh airborne team getting called in. Volkswagen is getting pushed away. And sticky bomb on the Stu 42 coilless rifle in the hands of the Americans. Oh dear, Veterans T1, will they be able to do it or will they get killed? Looks like the Pioneers are actually getting killed. There we go. Veterans T2, Stu 42 kaput. But the riflemen need to get out of there as a huge counter-assault of Germans is moving in. Lots of automatics, MP40s, MP44s. And that's going to be a problem. In particular since they don't have a heavy machine gun or anything. Except now they do, now they just need to get it to the front. As, oh dear, this would be a really nice point to do a strafing run. In fact, let's go look. DT Winters hasn't got the resources for a strafing run, all the command points. Bit of a shame. Anti-tank gun gets sorted out in short order. But heavy machine gun and mortar is ready, so he needs to get them forward. Don't hang about so much around there. And again, but what could be helpful? A rather from team utterly obliterated. Because his rifle left behind. Not looking good there though.
The Krauts are going after our point.
Apparently they lost it on the retreat. A bit of a shame. Instead, the Volkswagen has decided to use it, just in case some army panzers decide to show up. Yes, Helmut, you look spiffy. But Mr. DT Winters needs to be more active, though. The mortar is up, ready to bombard the Krauts. The glorious mortar fire from the 60mm mortar. The American mortar actually sort of being their company-level mortar. The Germans used the 81mm mortar, actually. Slight difference there. The Germans basically had heavier artillery on all levels. And I believe by 1944 the 60mm mortar or any sort of light mortar they might have had was actually sort of phased out. Mostly. Otherwise they might have used it for the platoon level. Not entirely sure.
Down to 300 points.
But a bit of a standoff here. DT Winters though need to press onwards. He needs to do some damage. And these stormtroopers need to be careful of their armor mines. Oh dear, the heavy machine gun is running right in front of the stormtroopers. Volkswagen is moving in. Still no suppressive fire from the BARs or grenades. Oh, never mind, he does use grenades. Yes, that's just me. For some reason, when I watched the replay at 8 times speed, I never saw anyone. Oh dear, the mortar's getting cleared out. Stormtroopers getting forced away though. We've got stormtroopers on the retreat. A few left behind. Just look at him. Wishing that HybridFunctionz has laid down a medic bunker, but it never was. Rifleman holding out decently here, but need to push on. He needs to be able to sort of keep pushing after he's beaten back the enemy. He sort of spends a bit too much time just standing about. Which of course does give Mr. HybridFunctionz more time to reorganize and counterattack. And there we go. Oh, mine's getting hit. Airborne in a bit of trouble. Sturmgeschützsphere has arrived. Also from the 2nd Panzer Division to provide a bit of armored support. And Grenadiers have arrived actually for HybridFunctionz. And he's equipped them with an LMG 42 light machine gun 140. Firing away like a glorious German soldier. Anti-tank gun has been recruited. Grenadiers firing from the sides. Opening up on the anti-tank gun, actually doing a bit of damage right there. With the LMG. Oh, they're in a bit of threat of getting mortared. But of course, remember the LMG 42 only fires when standing still.
Recon flight standing by.
Volksgrenadiers moving in. While the Grenadiers handle that anti-tank gun, making things easier for the Sturmgeschützsphere. And there we go, sorted that mess out. And now the mortar is exposed to the Grenadiers and their machine gun wrath. In fact, they managed to right nicely there kill one of the gunners before. Oh my goodness, losing 3 men to a single mortar round. He needs to get out of there. He's not Klaus. He's not Klaus. Sturmgeschütz not providing support either. Grenadiers. Oh, looks like they will just barely make it past all of this. But Infantry 2 for the Sturmgeschütz would have been nice. Would have been very nice. Volksgrenadiers lost. Stormtroopers just charging into there. Absolutely not caring about all the BARs being arrayed against them. Never mind, there they go. Might have wanted to use the button grenade, but again, might have wanted Infantry 2 rather than them or the Stuke. And now the Stuke is in trouble. Has to pull out of their HybridFunctionz. Careful. Oh no, it's getting sticky bombed.
Just give me a rifle.
Medics just continue to pull in those wounded. And HybridFunctionz continue to not really get a medic bunker again. I mean, bit of a Novice Monday mistake, I suppose. But good usage of those MP40s. And certainly good use of an infantry. Oh my goodness, strafing run. Pinning and killing and clearing out the anti-tank gun. Oh my goodness. But again, not a lot of manpower actually being secured for DT Winters. It's a bit of a problem. He still doesn't have a supply yard at all.
We hold the initiative.
And I do believe it's time for the mid-game analysis. Yes, indeed. What is the current situation? Well, you know, not the... It's a bit sort of mixed. I mean, HybridFunctionz has a great start, but now, I mean, DT Winters is crawling back. The medic station with all those medics is really helping him, you know, crawl back into the fight. The mortar even doing a bit of damage. The heavy machine guns, all the BRs, the grenades, really pushing onwards. And HybridFunctionz doesn't quite have either the things he really could need, which would either be, you know, Veterancy 2 for the infantry. Wait, there we go. Great job, but you know, could have done with it earlier. A medic bunker would also have helped in particular with all that infantry again. More mines, I mean, really not enough mines, I think, from HybridFunctionz. Except right there in the beginning, then it sort of fell off. Although I might want to consider getting a Nebelwerfer or a mortar of his own. Could really help, I believe. On the other hand, though, DT Winters doing well, but you know, might want to consider getting a supply at fixing that manpower drain, perhaps also getting a tank depot, and then really putting the fight to HybridFunctionz and the 91st Luftlande Division. Of course, you might also just want to consider securing the munitions point there to get some more munitions for the strafing runs to really deal with that heavy infantry thing that HybridFunctionz has going, and of course, because it also tends to have a bit of a blobby tendency against strafing run, will really punish him for that. So let's get back to the fight though. And let's just speed things up a bit. It's going to be a slightly long one, so just getting past the slightly unexciting part. Yes, there goes sandbags. Nice to see. Volksgrenadiers taking heavy losses to the riflemen, but the riflemen are not doing too well either. In fact, they are both on the run. It looks like a bit of a mixed force moving up. Grenadiers with light machine guns, stormtroopers with assault rifles, Volksgrenadiers with MP40s. Quite a mixed force, in a sense, I suppose. And the Grenadiers just rush in to lay down barbed wire, not support. Seems a bit of a shame those Grenadiers could have help there. Rifleman Veterancy 2 moving in. Stormtroopers running up close. Will we be seeing a grenade? No, the rifleman actually going to get shot up. Simply too much fire being raped. A more rifleman moving in. Rifleman, there we go, retreating. Still not a single suppressor volley or any sort of thing to really help with the munitions either. Supplier, though, finally going up. Finally, it also, you know, remember, getting upgrades for it also helps with, besides, you know, the manpower upkeep, it also helps with veterancy. It actually makes your troops gain veterancy faster. So it's a really nice thing to have. In fact, it looks like he might soon be getting another rifleman team. Grenadiers firing away, LMG blasting. Question is, of course, how much damage will it be able to do? How many will it be able to kill? It's a bit of a mixed thing. Although, if you do have more of them, it does tend to help a bit, it seems like. Obviously. But the Grenadiers end up being forced away. Mortar providing nice support. Americans pushing onwards. Although in a clump of their own again. Avoid clumps, in particular if, you know, Mr. Blitzkrieg there, as we've sort of had established, might decide to go for assault, in which case you can really punish the Americans for blobbing. But a quick counterattack once more, and there we go. We are in fact seeing assault going in for HybridFunctionz. That's nice. He's also suffered some heavy infantry losses now. Still no medic bunker, and again another rifleman team reform, which actually means 6 rifleman teams, 4 DT Winters and an airborne team. That's 7 infantry teams. I mean, it's really shifted away from HybridFunctionz being the infantry heavy commander chap to actually being Now DT Winters. Grenadiers firing away. Grenades getting lobbed at the riflemen. Oh dear, these chaps could actually go down if the Grenadiers decide to finish them off. And there we go. LMG fire and MP45 finish them off. And the medics just keep pulling in the wounded. Needs to secure that point again.
Tactical air support is asking.
Lots of grenades getting lobbed in. Again, stand still with the LMG. And my goodness, lots of riflemen clumped up. Nice target range. And some Volksgrenadiers trying to get that medic. This isn't looking so strong for HybridFunctionz, but of course, oh never mind, he's gotten himself a Tiger. Apparently he's been able to scrounge one up from somewhere. Called in as many favors as possible, I imagine. Clearing out the heavy machine gun on his tank, but of course, I mean, just evacuating the building, it means actually the assault does get cancelled. So it's like detail that. Oh, moving in the Tiger on its own. Careful, careful. You don't want to lose that Tiger right early on. That would make me very disappointed in you. HybridFunctionz. Tiger comes up, gets off a nice shot there. 2 riflemen down. That seems to be it. Mortar rounds flying in support. No counter artillery. Troops standing about. Pioneers getting trained. Let us go look at HybridFunctionz once more. What is he doing? Not much by the look of things. Not much at all, and DT Winters is holding most of the victory points, so that's not actually good. Also, you know, try to remember, always keep your, you know, your armor pointing in the direction of the armor that is the front, and you know, not the rear. Only if you actually want to lose your armor quickly. DT Winters, though, also seems to getting a bit complacent when you're thinking, well, I have the upper hand now, I can just sit back, you know, don't think that when you're the Americans. Volksgun is running straight at the heavy machine gun, and there we go. Tiger assisting the assault. Heavy machine gun in a bit of trouble, getting assaulted, getting stunned. Tiger moving in on the flank. Opens up, does some terrible damage. Americans quickly moving in to stop this. Stormtroopers, Grenadiers, Volksgrenadiers. All kinds of Grenadiers. And more assault, airborne taking losses. LMG taking up position in the building to provide covering fire. Actually provides a bit more stable so that the gunner actually doesn't jump around, which I suppose isn't a bad idea. Sticky bombs galore on the Tiger. Riflemen sneaking up on the Grenadiers in the building, but they're not focusing on them. That would be an idea, actually. You know, focus the closer target with LMG. More sticky bombs on the Tiger. Oh dear, this is not looking good. Stormtroopers have flanked in, and the riflemen just keep taking over. 10 kills for the Tiger. 10 kills. More riflemen getting reformed, though, right in front of the Stormtroopers. They need to get out there. They have 31. Wow. So much death and a bombing run. Oh my. Well, that was pretty anticlimactic. Huge battle, and then the bombing run, and then it misses. Must have been one of Conrad's cousins flying that fighter bomber. Or a misclick. But certainly it's never fun, you know, when you see a bombing run and then absolutely misses. Grenadiers firing away with LMG and Kar-98K's rifle moving up. LMG doesn't quite seem to manage much, I fear, though. Again, that's sort of the slightly issue with the LMG. It actually has a penalty against moving targets for some ungodly reason, but the BAR, on the other hand, doesn't. And that can fire on the move. I've never quite understood that. I've never quite understood it.
Stormtrooper squad ready for action.
Anyways, Grenadiers getting reinforced.
Volk squad here.
Anything else? Some other Volksgrenadiers hiding here with their Panzerschreck and recoilless rifles. Where they got the Panzerschreck, I do remember for some reason it was an opportunity where DT Winters could have secured one, but didn't. And again, assault, right in the midst of the riflemen clumping up. That's certainly how you do it. Stops that from going on. Very nice ability. And the MP40 Volksgunners secure 31 kills. The other Volksgunners are not quite as much. And looks like he's actually gotten a motor pool. I'm not entirely sure why he's getting a motor pool. I mean, it might have been a better idea to get a tank deeper up. And then try to, get some armor to perhaps, deal with the remaining German infantry or get some tank destroyers in case, he gets another Tiger. But then again, I mean, what German commander would get a second Tiger after losing the first one? I mean, it's not like a Tiger is any good now, is it? Pfft. Oh, wait, it is. Ooh, I bet only one mortar, but that's going to be very short-lived. Volksgunners is on the hunt. They are on the case of the mortar, which has actually been recruited by airborne, interestingly enough. Which actually means it's actually harder to hit on the move. That's what airborne armor does. And a quick counterattack from the Americans. Tiger moving in. Stormtroopers moving up to support. Grenadiers. Volksgunners not reinforced. Blitzkrieg ready. Question is, of course, will HybridFunctionz be using Blitzkrieg, or would he just sort of be standing out looking cute? I mean, again, Blitzkrieg 4 armor actually makes it fire twice as fast. Of course, it will be a bit inaccurate, but when you're firing high explosive shells of that magnitude, accuracy, isn't perhaps, the greatest, most necessary thing, in particular when your opponent's blobbing up. Plus, of course, infantry actually fires a bit faster as well. Vehicles also fire a bit faster as well, although they also get a bit less accurate. Plus, well, they also all move faster. I mean, units can sprint, I believe even cloaked ones. Oh, good hit. Good hit. And looks like the heavy machine gun is once more forced to evict the premises. Small infantry force moving up on the western flank or eastern flank, however you look at it. And a Greyhound. Now, that's... I don't think really that's what's needed, against a Tiger and all that, A Greyhound seems a bit misplaced or mismatched. Just my opinion. Grenadiers moving up once more, taking a position in the building with an LMG. Apparently getting off a very nice round here on the rifle and actually doing quite a bit of damage this time around. I mean, it's a bit, hit and miss, actually a bit too much, I feel at times. Stormtroopers moving in, flanking the heavy machine gun. Good move, good move. Tiger exposing the rear. That's not good. Not try. Oh, bugger me. 2 anti-tank guns firing right into the rear of the anti-tank gun. Turn it about. Volksgunners is getting forced away. Veterancy free for these riflemen, or will this rifleman? Still no further infantry to see from HybridFunctionz, which is again a bit of a shame. Still no medic bunker either. Grenadiers forced to evacuate the premises. 17 kills. Tiger getting hit in the rear. 8 kills so far. Pioneers mining a bit, and still no Blitzkrieg. Again, a shame, no Blitzkrieg at all. And the Grenadiers are holding a small position right here by the road crossing. Well, what remains of it after the rest has been crushed by Tigers or blown to bits or bombed. And the assault moves in. Tiger taking heavy damage, needs to get out of there. Anti-tank gun getting sorted out with grenades. And the Grenadiers are actually taking some pretty severe losses. Though again, still a bit disappointed. No attempt at Blitzkrieg from HybridFunctionz. And that was actually the first real slowdown from Fraps in quite some time. Not quite sure how I managed to fix that, but I'm not going to be complaining. So a bit quiet there while DT Winter's getting ready for another assault, really keeping the pressure up. The medic station still standing. My goodness. That might actually be the 3rd or 4th rifleman team that actually gets popped out from that building. My goodness. He's really getting his money's worth on that, and he only paid 150 manpower. More stormtroopers actually arriving, some more infantry for HybridFunctionz, more Stoßtruppen to stoß die Amerikaner.
Stormtroopers ready for orders, yeah.
Your orders?
Of course, he just needs to get it all up to the front. He needs to perhaps, prepare that blitzkrieg and then just charge in. Or he could just, move the troops in on the flank, I suppose. Leading through the open road. Not perhaps the best place to lead a charge in negative cover, Though he does go for an assault on the heavy machine gun, stunning everyone nearby as well, and then retreating. Not one of the history's most successful assaults, I might argue. And a Panzer was dropped again. And that's certainly not good at all if the Americans pick that up. In particular, that Veterans 3 Rifleman team, whatever it is, more. And there we go, actually, Veterans 3 Rifleman team. Rifleman getting suppressed. Having hit a mine, mortar exposed, the stormtroopers move in to clear it out, flank it in fact. Grenadiers moving up to the front, having taken heavy losses. Bundle grenade. Yes, and there we go, mortar is down. Another medic station going down for DT Winters. Very nice to see, he's not just giving up on those, in fact getting more now. Grenades getting lobbed at the heavy machine gun, really trying to stop the main problem for him. Stormtroopers flanking up. Medics moving in to pick up the wounded. More medics, in fact, now that's going to be a lot of medics. Anti-tank gun sorted out. But the airborne just immediately recruit that, then getting reinforced and recruit some more. Tiger still getting repaired. My goodness, still getting repaired. There's a lot of work for those medics. No work for the German medics because they haven't been hired. And that could very soon mean another rifleman team for DT Winters. Although he also looks like he's been losing quite a few. So I suppose it's a bit mixed as to his effectiveness when he's also losing quite a few. Oh, he needs to get those out of there. Come on, DT Winters. There we go. Good boy. And that's quite the force streaming out. Just be thankful the opponent can't see that and call in a strafing run. Otherwise he might be in trouble with that march formation. Which was actually something the Germans used to quickly get a lot of fresh trainee troops from the training unit, which was farther back behind the front to the actual front. They would form the march companies and battalions. Tiger dealing with some Veterans 3 Riflemen, which have all been forgotten by DT Winters. Oh no! I mean, that would have been better suited for non-veteran riflemen. Those should have been used in the front line. Instead, he's... Yeah, that was not a good use. It's all troops getting shot up in the middle of everything. Another rifleman team has been reformed again and again. He just keeps on getting more troops. Grenadiers firing from behind everybody else, if they can actually hit anything. Stormtroopers taking absurd losses. The Tigers nowhere to be seen. Strafing run could actually be called in. But there's not really much left of HybridFunctionz infantry again. Not really a good case of unit preservation either, I think. And not really a lot of armor. I mean, this has mostly actually been an infantry fight. I mean, even the Tiger has sort of been mostly marginal. So has the M8. It's really been mostly about the infantry. Infantry killing infantry, killing infantry. But now again, heavy losses. He's gone down from having... well, quite a lot of infantry, and now he barely has anything again. Although he's now trying to replace some of it with airborne, but, lots of medics hanging about. One medic station, of course, they can sort of shift between, medic station, medic bunkers, to the one that's actually the busiest. So, I mean, if a lot of things actually happen down here, most of the medics will then move down here and use that point. So, slight little detail there. And the heavy machine gun once more opening up on the Grenadiers as they move in. Veterans 3 airborne. Grenadiers assaulting right through the heavy machine gun fire. And assaulting that heavy machine gun, grenading it, stunning it. False Grenadiers moving up. Tiger moving in from the flank. Heavy machine gun in the building. Stormtroopers moving up on the other flank. This could be it. This could be the make or break moment for either side. But it looks like the flanks are too weak. The losses are too heavy. No attempt at grenades. Wait, a strafing run, but it doesn't quite do anything. And it doesn't stop the Stormtroopers. So clearly the main problem here. Tiger moves in. Anti-tank guns are gone. Utter despair in the lines of the 4th Infantry as the 91st with lots of support from the 2nd Panzer Division breaks through the lines, shatters them, crushes them beneath their jack boots.
Losing ground out there.
And that medic got gunned down.
Paratroopers on point.
It's not really looking good at all for DT Winters anymore.
Our front lines are collapsing.
Trying to move through here. I'm not entirely sure why or what he's intending. Let's have to speed up to find out. He might be going for a rear assault, I'm not sure, but no, the other Stormtroopers are on the hunt. They're quickly catching up. Tiger Veterancy 3 versus Airborne Veterancy 3. I don't think that would go well for the Tiger, though. And there we go, Tiger with 39 kills. My goodness, again. I mean, it's really been able to kill a lot of infantry, partly because, you know, Mr. HybridFunctionz has, well, neither side has really been able to keep infantry alive, but, you know, DC Winters have been having a bit of problems as well. Stormtroopers, 52 kills! I mean, that's enough for Knight's Crosses for everyone. 52! 53 kills! 53 kills! My goodness, I've rarely seen anything like that. Although I suppose it would be more impressive if the full Grenadiers had that. 48 kills, that's also going to do it. Again, I really think it shows this sort of level of infantry devastation in this fight. I mean, this has really been an infantry grinder. A slug out. And I suppose, hopefully some people have learned a lot about infantry fighting in this match, in this Monday Novice fight. And a strafing run moves in, but the building actually seals it, interestingly enough. But the Stormtroopers will still pull out, as they are still being a bit outnumbered, despite, you know, having killed so many so swiftly. More Stormtroopers getting called in. The Grenadiers are not really moving in to support, though. Tiger a bit on its own. Anti-tank gun gets recruited. One of them gets trained. And an airborne team gets absolutely obliterated. Sticky bombs on the Tiger. Damaged engine. And this is looking a bit grim. GG. GG, intense game. It's only been quite an infantry fight, of course, and 50 kills for the Tiger as well. Again, absolutely huge infantry losses. So, I mean, what can we learn from this? Well, you know, I mean, a medic station is a well-placed medic station or two, you know, can pay themselves off. In this case, they probably got 4 or 5 infantry teams out of that medic station pair. I mean, that's quite a lot of manpower saved. Incredible, great. I mean, something, you know, to perhaps learn a bit, you know. I mean, there were some good movements, but again, you know, we also saw a lot of problems with blobbing up, which was then, rather in some cases, swiftly punished. In other cases, I mean, they were able to get some really nice attacks from several angles off, which actually paid off. We also saw a rather infantry-heavy start from a Wehrmacht player, saw how that could work out, saw how it could be countered, at least, you know, somewhat countered. It didn't quite work well at times. Good usage of grenades, so really managed to land some good blows there. But there was also some bit mismanaged resources here and there, and again DT Winter simply lost too much infantry in the long run. Much too much, simply. But again, so did HybridFunctionz. I mean, this is one of the games, you know, unit preservations, keep a mind on that. Nice veterancy though, nice sort of seeking things in together, but again, I mean, it really would have been great if HybridFunctionz had actually bothered with a medic bunker. But there you go, I do hope you enjoyed this game. If you did, why not subscribe or tell your friends, and if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own? This is Imperial Dancing. Cheers.